Hey everybody, welcome to Cowboy Leather and Shoe Repair. Well, we got 1 week down in this new year. Week started out good. Had a good week, is where I'm getting at. And if this week has been an example of what the rest of the year is going to be, yes, please bring it on. But that's not what I really want to talk about. I don't know if anybody else kind of looks at, I think it's YouTube, leather crafting for beginners. Go on there, people go in and ask questions and show what they've made and have people, other people kind of give the good, bad, and ugly comments on it. But what I've seen is I think people are confused on what to use, what tools to use, and what to use these tools on or for. Primarily, I see a lot of people that are bringing up, hey, I busted my Granite, I was driving rivets, I was doing this or doing that. In other words, banging metal on granite. Granite is not made and not intended for setting rivets. If you're going to set rivets, what I use is that's a piece of 1/2-inch cold rolled steel. That's what I set my rivets, my snaps, anything metal. Basically metal on metal. I use that for brass and copper harness rivets. That's all they're for, is to do that. Some people use a piece of railroad track made into an anvil. Some people even use an anvil. That's what that's for. Now I'm going to show you what I've got here, what I use in the shop. Let me tip you down a little bit. Turn here. All right, this is your standard piece of poundo board, polymer, whatever you want to call it. Just an example. What I do is this pretend piece of leather, my hammer. If I'm going to poke holes in something, I use that. Sometimes if I'm really not going to get vicious, it goes straight through. I don't know if you can see it, but it goes through. You don't use your hole chisels on granite. You break or bend one of those, you're out of business. Especially if you're in the middle of a project. You can cut on this. It might leave a little bit of a scar, but nothing you can feel. Now, swing over here. Get this out of the way. This is self-healing cutting mat. This is what I use for cutting. Now I got bigger knives than this. You cut all day long on this. It's self-healing. If you want to, I suggest don't use your chisels on here because it'll poke holes, and when you do go to work on stuff, your project or material is, get scratched up. Inch and a half granite. The only thing we use, swivel knife. Tooling. That's all that's for. You don't use this on here. you will guarantee you will bend that. You'll bend it or break it. Yes, you can cut on here, but it dulls your blades. Okay? You don't use this. My suggestion, you do whatever you want. It's your money, your business. But if you got this piece of granite, yeah, I got it for free. And if you go to most places that make countertops, they throw these away. They'll give them to you, most likely. This I treat like glass. You don't bang on glass, but if you break this and it shatters out, you're out of business till you find a piece of granite again. So basically, where I'm going with this is that's for tooling. Your self-healing cutting mat, that's for cutting. Maybe a little bit of poking holes. This is for cutting, poking holes, doing whatever. But if you're going to use this polymer board or poundy board, I suggest putting a piece of another leather underneath your work as you're poking holes. And if you're going to set rivets, use flat stock, use whatever, an anvil. I use that a lot. Use that. It's another piece of steel. Been around a long, long time. It's got a hole drilled in it, just in case you bugger up a rivet. Put that rivet over top of, put the rivet over top of that hole. Take a drift or something, whack it once with a hammer, pushes it out, put a new one back in. Every once in a while you do bend a rivet. But like I'm saying, these tools are expensive. If you tear one up in the middle of working on a project, you're SOL. You know, I don't mean to harp, but you know, you gotta take care of your tools. They're not cheap, and they're not getting any cheaper. And anything worse is tear up a tool in the middle of one of your projects, because you got to order these. You know, you got to order them from Tandy, Weaver, or wherever you get your tools from. You know, it's just simple common sense. You're not, you know, basically that's what I use for tooling, you know, stamping, whatever. You're not going to generate enough force to bust that. Now, there is one exception that I have found, because I have broken a piece of granite that I got from one of the leather outlets. And I think it cracked or broke because the heater in my shop quit working. We had a power surge through the night, and the power went out. It got cold in the shop, and I didn't realize or think about it at the time, but it was cold enough that I started tapping on that and cracked off a corner. It was a square one. It cracked off a corner, and I said, okay, I'm working on a small project. I'll use, lo and behold, I made about 4 more stamp impressions, and it just broke into about 6 or 7 pieces. So, and granite is not, trust me, you can be just tooling, and that granite will go bad. Because in the granite itself, there may be a hair fracture. You don't know. The place where they make it, they don't know. So there, it's like a stone. Granite is a stone. It has stress cracks in it from God knows what. So my suggestion, use your granite for nothing but tooling, a little bit of cutting. Use your self-healing cutting mat for, as it says, cutting. And yeah, if you haven't got a pound-all board, you take and put a piece of thicker leather underneath it. You can poke your stitching holes all day long. But if you can get a pound-all board, get one. I've got three, 4 pound-all boards in different lengths. I got this cutting mat and that piece of granite. And I've had that piece of granite now for quite a while. The one I busted, that was probably 7-8 years ago, right after I started into doing leathercraft. But, it don't hurt to have a piece of steel like this lay around. It not only works good for driving rivets or snaps, it even works good for holding down a pattern. If you got a big pattern you're working on, you lay that down, that pattern's not going anywhere. All right. I thought I just need to, mention this. And if you don't trust what I got to say, check out some of the other YouTube videos that are out there. And pretty much everybody will agree that the granite, don't set rivets on it, don't set snaps, even though it's tempting. Take care of your tools. They'll take care of you. They're going to make you money. A busted tool ain't going to do nothing but be just a weight in a garbage can. So, with that being said, I'm going to back out of here. It's getting close to closing time. Hope everybody had a good holiday, good New Year's. I hope your business is taking off, and let's see what we can make out there. The more people we got making, the more stuff we can get out there and take away from the foreign overseas junk. I'm out of here. I'll have a good day and good weekend. Bye now.